Just take a nice breath and an easy sigh. The breathing come back to a normal. Eyes opening. So good morning. Well, I guess it's now early afternoon. But in any case, I'm so happy to be back with you again. My name is Drake, and this is Touching the Edge, and we're in our preparation for the election, which now is just a few days away. Again, it's not about just the election, it's about the election and beyond. We want to make sure that we don't get too high if what we hope for happens, or too low if what we hope for doesn't happen. We have to avoid the objectification. There's a story from the Lotus Sutra, what's called the story of the burning house, where a father is walking by a house that is dilapidated, one of the most damaged houses in his neighborhood. Old, broken down house, um, you know, just everything you can imagine. Um, Needles, whatever you want to think of in a house that we would not want small children running into. And at this time, his children run in, and they're too young to really be able to follow what the father is saying. And so, because he can't round them all up, he yells out to them to all come out because he has gifts. And when they do come out of the burning house, I mean, once they get into the house, by the way, the house suddenly bursts on fire. When they come out of the burning house, at that point, they ask for the gifts, and he's a magician. He claps his hands, and suddenly these incredible carts, these chariots, become rolling up, and they have more gifts than he had promised, and actually better gifts than he had promised. And so the metaphor for me is realizing that we live in is a burning house, whether you're talking about society as a whole, whether you're talking about any particular relationship, your body, even your relationship to your children. If you objectify those elements, if you think, for instance, that sex is going to give you happiness, if you objectify sex, you'll find yourself objectifying those people that you are hoping to have that kind of intimacy with. And once you objectify, you take away the truth of the value of that element. Things are not going to bring you happiness. Happiness comes from a source that is not definable. You cannot be defined. So I'm asking you not to objectify a particular outcome of the election, even though, of course, we do have strong desires to see what will come about. What we have to understand is we should at least consider stepping into positive indifference. That sense that no matter what happens, we're going to be okay. No matter what happens, it doesn't matter what the direction is. And it's not all, by the way, about things out here. Could be you dealing with health issues. Even if you get a diagnosis that you don't want to have, don't think that you're limited by that diagnosis. You can still be in joy and in happiness. Joy, again, is not happiness, it's more than that. Joy is about being on mission. So let's be powerful. Let's be powerful today. Let's be powerful today by activating those visceral practices that allow us to get out of being consumed with the outcomes that we want. Even though they are important, believe me, I have very strong views about what I would like to see happen in this election. But I refuse to be on a string to anyone else's actions. I am setting my course, and that's about putting positive energy out every single day. Today is the point of power. Right now is the point of power. So come out of the burning house with me. You know, it's not going to happen by being afraid of the outcome. We can come out of it by focusing on where we want to go rather than where we don't want to be. I'm going to ring the bell. I'm going to ask you to listen carefully. Here we go. I'm going to ask you to take a nice breath in, sigh it out. Let's go on. Let's have a wonderful day today. I'm going to bring my hands into prayer position and I bow to you. Namaste, my friend.